Do you ever read a passage of scripture and think, oh crap, this was written for me? We all know we are not supposed to judge others. We all know we aren't perfect. We all know better. But it's so easy. It's so very easy to pass judgment on other people. It's built into our DNA. It's built into our culture. It's so much a part of how we navigate life that we don't even realize most of the time that we're doing it. For example, when we see a newborn for the first time, one of the first things we do is try to judge whether that baby looks more like mom or more like dad, or maybe that baby is the carbon copy of Great Uncle Joe or Grandma Hattie, and we judge their beauty or lack thereof, as if that's a measure of some great importance. We say, oh, what a beautiful baby. And the parents smile, being so brightly, it lights up the place. Because by proclaiming their baby beautiful, we validated them as parents and validated that newborn's right to live. Now, other than placing value in beauty, it's a pretty innocuous form of judging. We never proclaim the opposite, at least not in front of the parents. We just don't say, oh my, but that is a hideous face on that baby. No matter, we always declare babies to be beautiful, or we keep our opinions to ourselves and find something else positive to say to mom and dad. That grace of only speaking positive is the birthright of all babies. But it has an expiration date. By the time that infant is old enough to navigate their surroundings on their own, whether that's by crawling on their belly or on all fours or walking, the critical judgment begins. That kid is out of control. They don't discipline their child. What a wild child. Such a brat. Oh, hide the breakables, the terror is here. What do they feed that kid? Too fat, too thin, snotty nose, never shuts up, and on and on and on. And it gets worse as they get older. We judge their performance in school. We judge their athleticism or lack of it. We judge their manners. We judge their sense of style and their fashion choices. We judge the volume of their voice. We judge and judge and judge until it's a wonder anyone has a shred of self-respect by the time they make it to adulthood. And then the judgment starts in earnest. We judge people for their educational status, their employment, their home, their car, their wardrobe, the contents of their grocery cart in the checkout aisle, as if it matters what the person in front of me or behind me is buying, their choice of tattoos and piercings, their hair color and style, their size and shape. We judge everything about them, often without knowing a thing about them other than their presentation in public. Judging is so automatic, it's a difficult thing not to do. Some of it is a survival instinct. We need to make some judgments in order to keep ourselves safe. Does that stranger look dangerous? Does this situation look like it's about to escalate to a point of violence? Can I trust them? Should I stay or should I run? But the extent of our judging is not in proportion to our need to do so in order to maintain our safety. We no longer live in caves, and we no longer need to protect ourselves against saber-toothed tigers or T-Rex. We can relax a bit and let go of the need to continuously evaluate others. In fact, once we've determined that a person does not scare us, we can stop evaluating that person. And that judgment of safety happens very quickly often without our conscious awareness that we've made that determination. Think about this scenario. You're walking to your car in a busy parking lot. There are people walking toward the store. There are people walking back to their cars. We notice the people around us, and we instantly adjust our pace and our level of alertness based on a quick glance. Then our focus can shift to either hurrying to our car or continuing at a relaxed pace because we do not detect a threat. The judging could stop there, but it often doesn't, because somebody has on a hideous outfit that they look ridiculous in, and somebody is dressed like they think they're the queen of the world or something, and somebody needs to gain some weight, and somebody else really needs to lose some weight, and somebody has awesome shoes, and somebody else needs new shoes. Somebody is a waitress. We know because we recognize the uniform that they're wearing from a restaurant we visited recently. Somebody else works at a tire store. And oh look, that must be a nurse. She's wearing scrubs. Those parents are letting their child do that? Those judgments, again, can be fairly innocuous, not all nice, but not extremely harmful because I don't speak them out loud, but it can get worse, especially when it comes to judging myself. It's important to monitor ourselves, but when we move from keeping track of our actions and our thoughts in order to always be on a path of self-improvement, to beating ourselves up, we cease to honor our own humanity. We cease to honor our place as created in the image of God when we devalue ourselves or make ourselves feel small. We do not serve God by crippling ourselves with mountains of negative self-talk. There must be a balance between correcting flaws and crushing self in harsh judgments. After all, loving self is part of the great commandment. In fact, it's core to that commandment functioning. I can't love others well if I'm too busy judging myself to love me. But then again, there's politicians. And politicians are easy for me to judge. Very easy. When Albion Rainbow Connection decided to work on a non-discrimination ordinance for this community, I started with preconceived notions about the City Council, without even knowing any of them. I assumed they would be mostly conservative, and I assumed they would not want to deal with an NDO. As a group, we strategized for how to overcome those presumed obstacles, and then we began our process. It actually went well, very well. Rather than passing judgment, we presented our request and our supporting points. The council heard us and did their job. The ordinance passed unanimously. I was thrilled to learn that even very conservative people, which some of the city council members are, can see beyond their own perspectives to the greater good. And in the same moment, I immediately passed judgment on the Jackson City Council. Jackson has dodged the need for a non-discrimination ordinance for years. Years and years and years. At least 15 years since the first time the idea was presented to them, maybe longer. Whenever it comes up, the council refers it to their attorney, or the mayor refers it to their attorney, or they just don't put it on the agenda. When push comes to shove, the attorney advises against creating an NDO because it may cause division, or the mayor doesn't want to offend anyone, or a certain council member is religious and doesn't believe in gays, or it may cause division between factions in the city, or it may be hard on business or expensive somehow to the city, or some other excuse keeps them from taking a stand on the side of human rights. As soon as Albion completed a very professional process of exploring, writing, and voting to approve their MDO. I labeled Jackson's leaders a bunch of cowards. Whether that's true or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that while I'm busy placing a value judgment on them, I am preventing myself from being creative enough to find a solution to their roadblock. In my head, I've been thinking, seriously? Are you going to let your neighboring city, Albion, shine brighter than you? You should be ashamed that you still don't have an MDO.